Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. We're gonna do something a little bit different here today. Something I haven't really ever done much of. Yes, this is probably technically quote unquote React content. I'm not necessarily certain what you would go with, but I did see that recently WatchMojo did a top 20 fighting game characters of all time. I kind of want to see what's going on with this and maybe even give insight on it as well. I don't know if I can. Well, that will be determined throughout the entire video itself. The things I'll be interested in seeing in this, obviously I see like Scorpion and Scorpion here, so you assume Sub-Zero is going to show up there at some point. This is not like a portion of the list already. This is probably just the intro to the actual video. But I'll be interested to see if they're only going to be doing like one video game, like one character per video game franchise, fighting game franchise for this. Personally, I think they'll probably have multiple characters from certain franchises in there. I don't think they're going to limit that, but I'll also be interested to see if somebody from the Dead or Alive series shows up in this as well. Now, I know Watch Mojo in the past used to do top 10s. I guess maybe they're doing top 20s now because they might have run out of ideas for top 10s. I'm not 100% certain on that. I don't necessarily follow the channel all that much anymore, but hey, they're going with the top 20 here. So I'm going to get going with everything, and let's see how this ends out going. Yeah, this is like a little intro for everything with this. But yeah, I'm going to be interested to see what their takes are and just like how many characters per franchise they'll have in there. I imagine you're going to get multiple characters from like Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat or Tekken or something like that. But also interested to see if they have Smash in there. Heihachi, number 20. Okay. I mean, iconic character. Yeah, a very iconic character.
Heihachi is a power-hungry, arrogant curmudgeon and
Yeah.
possibly the worst parent and grandparent ever.
Okay, that's a good idea. That's actually good to say. He is an awful father and awful grandparent.
Definitely qualifies. Despising weakness, this septuagenarian is well versed in Mishima-style fighting karate and still skilled.
Okay,
in
they're
battle.
just giving.
And have you seen him? This dude is absolutely shredded. Heihachi's actions are so brazen and ego so huge, he can also be very funny. Even at times where he has a rare moment of comeuppance are downright comical, with actions as iconic as his hairstyle.
Actually, this is not awful intake on this. Like, that's not bad intake on what why they think he's a bigger, more iconic character. I'm actually kind of shocked he's only number 20. Maybe they probably consider like a Kazuya or somebody else from the Tekken series to be higher up, but I would have expected maybe Heihachi to be a little bit higher in this list, but let's go on.
Number 19, Homaru.
Homaru, okay. They did take into account Samurai Showdown.
Homaru, the Ronin vagabond, perfectly embodies the spirit of feudal Japan.
Okay.
Drawing inspiration from
I'm actually kind of shocked.
Miyamoto Musashi.
I didn't know, like, I know around, like, stateside, like, Samurai Showdown's not, like, the biggest in terms of being a fighting game franchise, but that's actually cool to see Homaru in the list here.
Appearances in multiple crossover games.
This will be a very good gauge. Guilty Gear, Bridget. Okay. Okay, so we've had 3 characters, 3 different franchises so far. So when are we going to get into aspect of going into multiple? Is one. Yeah, I would say she's a key figure. She's usually found her way into every single, Bridget's usually found their way into every single Guilty Gear, at least recently. So yeah, I would probably consider this a very iconic character. I'm not super like vast on Guilty Gear. Like my main characters in there are like Faust and Jam, so I'm not like super into
Number
knowing what
17,
is there.
Iori Yagami, the King of
Iori
Fighters
Oh,
series.
Iori is in here. Okay, at number 17 as well. Yeah, if you're gonna have... Now, I would expect them to have multiple
Every
King of
fighting
Fighters
game
characters
protagonist
now,
needs their
because
very own
Iori's
rival.
definitely
Iori
not
Yagami stepped
their
into the
most
role of fighting
iconic
for Hiro
character.
Kusanagi. His bad boy personality and flashy appearance
Yeah,
instantly struck a chord in the King of Fighters
he's
fans.
obviously in
As the
practically
heir
every
of
King
one
of
of the
Fighters
three clans that sealed
game,
away Orochi,
but
Iori is a
definitely
master
not like
pyro
their most
kinesis
iconic
through its
character.
powerful,
So
bright
I
purple
would
flames.
probably
His unhinged
anticipate to see
fighting style
more
makes him stand out from the rest of the fighters. He's
King
a
of Fighters in
perfect
here.
for players who want to
So
rush right into their opponent.
I could be completely wrong on that too. I could be completely wrong. I haven't seen this yet.
16, Akira Yuki.
Akira
Ultra
Yuki.
Fighter series.
Okay. Yeah, well, let's be... Okay, we get to stop here. We get to stop here a little bit. Akira, yeah, absolutely. One of the best fighting game characters of all time. Iconic to the Virtual Fighter series, everything in that sense. It absolutely needs to be in this list. I honestly would probably put him as their most iconic character in terms of like you know, being like vision, or not visually, but like when people think Virtual Fighter, they probably think Akira in this sense. So not shocked to see him on the list, but I would also anticipate this would be the only Virtual Fighter character on this list, or Virtual Fighter character on this list. So let's continue on.
Chance of fame and glory, Akira Yuki takes part in order to further improve his abilities and test himself.
Okay.
Master of the Chinese martial
Yeah.
art Bajishen, he brings an explosive and powerful fighting style to the World Fighting Tournament, even going as far to win its second iteration. Despite his stoic and calm demeanor, he's had plenty of fierce rivalries.
They actually have some
throughout the
pretty
series.
decent
He can
intake
stand
on
out
this as
even
well. Like,
at
this
the
list has
top.
not been too
As the
bad.
poster boy for the
Right
Fighter
off the bat.
series, Akira led the charge for fighting
Yep,
games
he
for
is
great
definitely the poster boy
creativity,
for the series.
cementing him as one of the genre's defining characters.
Definitely the poster boy for Virtual
Number
Fighter.
15, Kazuya
There we go.
Mishima, Tekken
Kazuya. Kazuya at 15.
Perhaps the most
That's
intriguing character in the
intriguing.
Tekken franchise, Kazuya made his debut
Kazuya's
all the way back in
definitely...
1994 as the
Well,
protagonist
Kazuya, I would definitely put it over Heihachi because, you know, Heihachi never just showed up until the actual PS1 version of Tekken 1. So technically, like, Kazuya is probably more of the poster boy for Tekken in general. Even though, you know, he's been technically killed and brought back to life multiple times, but that's Tekken lore for you. That's very, very much Tekken lore. So, yeah, not shocked to see him there, but I figured he'd be higher. Oh, Akuma. Yeah. Yeah. Everybody's always asking, where's Akuma in any Street Fighter game, so I wouldn't consider him like a poster boy or anything like that, but as a secret boss character, absolutely. Absolutely needs to be on a list like this one in any way, shape, or form. Let's...
force of pure destructive power. As one of the main reoccurring antagonists in the series,
Yeah,
Akuma is without a
he
doubt
is definitely the main, or one of the main antagonists. I can talk.
Characters, his Shun Gokusatsu super combo is not only one of the most powerful, but one of the coolest looking in all of fighting games.
Yeah. And here's the thing with Akuma, everybody's always gonna ask, when is Akuma coming out? Because obviously he's usually going to be a DLC nowadays, but him starting off as a secret boss in Street Fighter 2 and Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo, yeah, just iconic character for the Street Fighter series.
Number 13, Mai Shiranui.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, people, like certain characters people would think about with the King of Fighters series, Mai is always going to be up there. Her and Terry probably, I would imagine Terry's going to show up in this list at some point. If Mai's showing up here at 13?
both the Fatal Fury and Women's teams
So,
throughout the tournaments. Mai
so
is a combatant who's
not shocked to see Mai here. Not shocked, because a lot of people, like I said, when they think King of Fighters, you can even throw that into the aspect of DOA and soon to be Street Fighter 6. Just very popular character. Very popular character. You like, again, you think King of Fighters, you think of Mai.
Number 12.
Oh, Killer Instinct shows up in here. Fulgore. Okay. Yeah. Fulgore is definitely yeah. Fulgore is definitely the pick. Fulgore is definitely a pick for Killer Instinct. Because like I know a lot of people would probably think of like Django or Orchid or anything like that, but I think like in terms of like cool factor, definitely.
Featured on the boxes of Killer
Definitely.
Instinct for the SNES and Killer Instinct Gold for the Nintendo 64, that
Yeah.
terrifying cold mechanical face is synonymous with actually having instincts or programming for killing. With his razor-sharp claws and nuclear power,
I can probably turn this up a little bit.
finding another fighter of Fulgore's caliber is rare.
There you go. I can probably turn that up for a
Number
little
11,
bit.
Ragna the Blood Edge.
Okay.
Series.
They put Blaze Blue in here. I'm not like super familiar with the Blaze Blue series. Ragna is definitely I think someone I'm semi-familiar with, but like not like crazy familiar with. But really cool that they would put like they are definitely trying to get as many series as possible into this, because I know we've already seen multiple Tekken characters and multiple King of Fighter characters, but it's nice to see them attempting to get the other series in here as well. And I would probably say this would be a good call if you're going to pick with somebody for Blaze Blue, though, or from the Blaze Blue series to begin with.
It's this blend of dark power, unshakable resolve, and an epic theme song that puts the edge in Blood Edge.
Okay.
Number 10.
Oh! Kasumi got in here. Interesting. Now, is Kasumi probably the poster person for DOA? I would probably say so. Though I would have personally, I think it's cool that they put Kasumi in here. But I would have thought that if they picked a person from DOA, and maybe they still will, it would be Ryu Hayabusa because of also his tie to Ninja Gaiden and everything that go along with that. Just feels like a more popular character. But great to see Kasumi in here. Great to see Kasumi in here.
Ivy Valentine.
Ivy.
Soul Calibur series.
Yeah. Very popular character from Soul Calibur series, though I would have.
Ivy is focused,
you know, I don't know if she would be really the most popular one. Like I would like if I think about Soul Calibur and Soul Edge, I probably think more Mitsurugi and Sophitia versus Ivy. But that's probably just me.
Ivy was a sharp contrast.
That's just me. But also not a bad choice. Not a bad choice by any stretch of the imagination.
Ivy can certainly always be our Valentine.
There's no room for fear in my soul.
Number 8, Sub-Zero.
Okay, Mortal Kombat. Yep. Definitely up there. I am very much into seeing
mainstay of the
or very much a good choice to have Sub-Zero in there.
Of Ice, accompanied by his intriguing backstory,
what's their thought process?
Made him a fan favorite. The Sub-Zero mantle was originally taken on by Bihan before he met his demise at the hands of
more
Scorpion
backstory.
in the original game. From Mortal Kombat 2 onwards, his brother Kuai Liang dons the name and outfit and seeks out revenge.
Now, it makes me wonder if is this going to be the only Mortal Kombat character? Or do we see Scorpion show up in here? Because you almost, like, you always think of Sub-Zero and Scorpion together.
But no matter which version, Sub-Zero's abilities...
I mean, there's only 7 other spots, so they may still put him in here.
And let's be honest, he has some of the coolest fatalities out there.
They say fatalities and they show the one from MK versus DC because it's probably the only one that could get away without being demonetized. Yeah,
Fighter series.
Makes perfect sense. Makes perfect sense. Chun-Li, like
Chun-Li is one of the most important characters.
Yeah,
on the list due to
yeah,
the fact
what
that
can you
she's
say?
one
It's
of
Chun-Li.
the first female fighters in gaming history, and she continues to kick butt all these years later. Chun-Li has a wide array of iconic signature moves, such as her spinning bird kick, as well as her light.
I have a little bit of a bias on this one because, you know, Chun-Li is like my main in Street Fighter,
also works for
mainly. So, like that it's almost like a little bit of a bias.
Definitely a trailblazer.
But in terms of like the iconic female characters in fighting games in general, Chun-Li's way up there to begin with.
Number 6, Soul Bad
Soul
Guy.
Bad Guy. Soul Bad Guy. I mispronunciated that for a moment.
A scientist in a previous life, Soul Bad Guy was changed when he was.
I love that like he was a scientist at some point.
Imbued by a weapon with
But
speed,
if you
strength, and longevity.
like, if you think Guilty Gear, you think Soul Bad Guy. You also think of Kai as well. Honestly, those are the two that I would mainly think of. Even though when I play the games, I don't necessarily pick those characters. But yeah.
He's a great pick-up and play character with a complex backstory. Did we mention that?
So a very good choice here. And again, like I mentioned before, like obviously we've had multiple King of Fighters, multiple King of Fighters, multiple Street Fighter, and multiple Tekken. They're getting a lot of different series in here. Morgan, yep. Iconic character from Darkstalkers. Probably a little high on the list, considering Darkstalkers is not a huge fighting game series, but good to see that they got Darkstalkers on here in any way, shape, or form, and Morgan would definitely be the choice. Because whenever Darkstalkers gets into any type of fighting game that's not a Darkstalkers game, who's usually there? It's Morgan or Felicia.
Sometimes acting
so,
as a catalyst for other Darkstalkers
very much a good choice for the Darkstalkers.
She also went from strong secondary main character to muscling vampire character Dimitri out of his protagonist position. It's easy to see why fans love her big set of bat wings and green hair. Number 4, Jin Kazama, Tekken series.
Round 1, fight.
Jin's up here really high. I mean, I know he basically took over the Kazuya role in 3, obviously picking up his own style, being more of his own character as well later. But I'm intrigued to see like how high he is, because I guess I don't always think of Jin I think Tekken. Maybe it's because I think Kazuya and Nina from like the original games, and that might just be me not like recognizing the popularity of Jin at this point in time.
Number 3.
Hey, there's Terry. Yeah, if you're gonna put Yori and Mai in here, you have to put Terry in this game, in this list.
Yep, he's American.
You have to.
One of the 3 legendary.
Also, because like if King of Fighters characters gets into any game, like how much Terry has shown up in other games recently, outside of like just King of Fighters games or Fatal Fury games, he shows up everywhere. So not shocked on that. This is not shocking. This is also a very good choice.
Since inception, Terry is a fan favorite and has some of the most repeatable dialogue in fighting games.
Yep. Now, his iconic dialogue is, "Are you okay, Buster Wolf?"
Scorpion.
They could have put that in there. but also a good choice, and probably actually a good choice at number 3. Now, Scorpion at number 2. Yes. Yes.
It's always going to be
I
Scorpion,
imagine the number 1 is going to be a Street Fighter character. At least that's what I personally think.
Undead Hanzo Asashi seeks vengeance against the forces of
at least
Outworld,
I personally would think that, but I'm not 100%
master
certain on that.
Scorpion is a quick but savage fighter, only made more deadly with his
Let's see what they put in there.
Trademark speed, while some of the other
you could honestly make
Scorpion has embraced his
Scorpion, like you can make an argument for Scorpion to actually be the number 1 character based upon like how, like the popularity of Mortal Kombat in general. My assumption.
The tournament champion, these competitors earn.
Now, before they get into the number 1 here, like I said, you could make a argument that Scorpion could be a number 1 on this. I think I know what number 1 is now. I'm not gonna say it and not spoil it because I don't actually know, but I would imagine it's gonna be a Street Fighter character, and probably not either one of the 2 that are on this screen right now to go along with it. But so far, like the list itself, you know what? We'll wait till number 1's there and we'll kind of go further from this.
Mentions Ken Masters, Street Fighter series.
Don't expect me to be a pushover.
Ken Masters, okay.
Nina Williams,
okay.
Series.
Nina is actually Nina is somebody that I'm kind of shocked is not here.
The King of Fighters
but
series.
You can't get like a whole. You could probably make a top 20 list on top 20 Tekken characters,
Kitana, Mortal Kombat,
or top 20 Mortal Kombat characters, or top 20 Street Fighter characters.
Nightmare, Soul Calibur series.
Yeah, actually, Nightmare is somebody that I'm kind of shocked wouldn't be there.
Before we continue,
but then again, like when I think Soul Calibur, I think Mitsurugi and I think Sophia and all of them over Ivy. But also, like I played that game since Soul Edge. Number 1, yeah. Ryu is an obvious choice and a good choice, by the way, as well.
Raised by a martial arts master, Ryu wants nothing more than to fight strong opponents.
Yeah, this is the right choice. Let's just leave it at that. Iconic character. He's been there since Street Fighter 1. And you know, always been a mainstay or main character of the Street Fighter series in general.
Sure, he gets wrapped up in the plots of the bad guys, and he had to deal with the dark power of the Satsui no Haidu, both fighting Akuma and
there's so many people that still play Ryu even to this day.
Warrior is always seeking
like because that's just how popular and iconic he is. I mean, come on, they threw him and Chun-Li into Fortnite. They also threw Ken and Cammy in there too. So,
who do you think is the greatest fighting game character of all time? Let us know in the comments below.
So, okay, that's the entire list there. Actually, not a bad top 20. I was I won't say kind of shocked. I think they usually do a pretty good job of the list. Like things that I found surprising in general, like, of course, I'm glad DOA got into the list in some way, shape, or form. I'm shocked they used Kasumi over Ryu Hayabusa. I'm a Kasumi main and everything, so I'm glad. But I would have figured they would have used Ryu Hayabusa, or he would have found his way onto the list to begin with. Ken, I mean, if you're putting Ryu in there, yeah, you're probably leaving Ken out of it, like, to begin with, as well. But I don't think they made any type of, like, way out of their picks. Like, I was kind of shocked when they put Killer Instinct in there, but then I completely forgot, like, how popular Killer Instinct used to be at one point. And Fulgore was definitely a mainstay of that. So I thought Fulgore was a good pick for them, as well. I'm trying to think of, like, who truthfully got snubbed out of this, and I don't necessarily I don't necessarily know off the top of my head. Like they tried to get as many different series in there as well. Even ones that you probably wouldn't consider like super popular. So that was actually cool to see. And I think, what was it? They had 3 King of Fighters, 3 Tekken, and 3 Street Fighter, and 2 Mortal Kombat. And then they got other series to go along with it as well. Honestly, I think it was a very good top 20. Um, and then, of course, like if you really wanted to go crazy about things, you could do a top 20 Street Fighter, a top 20 Tekken, a top 20 Mortal Kombat characters. You could do things like that, and you would get a lot more choices in there. And you saw it in the honorable mentions. It's like, yeah, I would probably consider some of those characters for this, but who do you take out to begin with at that point in time? But overall, I thought it was a good top 20 list. If you guys like this style of content, feel free to comment down below. Like the video if you so wish. If you dislike this as well, feel free to hit the dislike button. But hey, again, if you liked it, feel free to subscribe to the channel. And with that being said, I hope you all take care, stay safe, stay healthy, and have a great rest of your day.